Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 5th episode of the Globe Business Breakthrough Masterclass webinar series, Small Biz Edition. It is so good to be back. It's always good to be with my masterclass friends. Kamusta naman kayo? Can you let me know in the chat that you're here and give us a wave or something? Let us know that you're tuned in. It's nice to see some new names as well as some old names who might be back for another episode. Welcome and welcome back to all of you. We're so excited to learn together. But before we jump in, let's do a quick recap naman about our previous episodes on what we have learned so far. In our first episode, we learned from our speakers kung paano nga ba nakakatulong ang AI in making intelligent business decisions. We knew that it can be scary and intimidating, so we learned that. Sa second episode naman, our speakers shared how to get to know your customers better and provide tailored customer service. In the third episode, natunan naman natin na kahit na small business pa lang, pwedeng-pwede ka magkaroon ng HR department. And it is extra doable with the help of HR automation. Last time naman sa fourth episode natin, shinare ng mga speakers natin kung everything about exportation, e-commerce, and going global as a small business, and that it is very possible even though you are still a small business. Today naman, we will be talking about getting your small business registered and starting out on all of those formalities, which also can feel so intimidating. Alam naman natin yan, ang daming paperwork, ang daming registrations, and it can feel like a lot. We get you. And so, we've got you. So today, our theme is legit and future ready. Streamlining business registration and digital taxation for small enterprises. Alam naman natin in this day and age how important it is to be a legit business. Because ito rin ang magiging basehan ng mga customers if they want to transact with you. Especially with all of the scams that are happening all around. It's very common already and always very nice. It's always reassuring if may mapapakita kang proof of legitimacy. And that is why we are here to discuss those today. How to be so legit that the customers can't ignore you, and when they find you, you are trustworthy and they can see that you are on the books. Kaya this afternoon, pag-uusapan natin yung journey ng mga small businesses. Mula sa unang hakbang sa pagli-legalize ng business hanggang sa mga challenges na madalas nilang harapin sa proseso. As we've been saying, it is very natural to be intimidated by this whole process. Nakaka-overwhelm naman talaga. Ang daming requirements, ang daming forms, at steps na kailangan intindihin. Pero ang maganda dito, once maging legit ka, mas marami ring benefits na babalik sa'yo, di ba? Alam naman natin yan. Tulad ng mas malaking tiwala mula sa customers, chances to work with big brands, and access sa mas maraming business opportunities. At syempre, hindi lang dapat sa papers nag-upgrade, pati sa tools natin. Pag-usapan natin yan kung paano mo pwedeng i-level up ang tools mo from personal to professional para mas organized, mas efficient, at mas ready ang business mo for growth. Kaya, please do stay tuned dahil ang goal natin today is to help you to take your business to the next level and to be legit, equipped, and ready for success. So, as we begin, we invite you to listen, take notes, and imagine how these insights can fit into your own business story. At syempre naman, if you joined us before, alam niyo na to, just like last time, meron pa rin tayong raffle at the end of the program. Sino kaya ang mga lucky winners natin today? Let's find out later, so please stay with us until the very end. We're so excited to learn together today, and we hope that you will walk away with practical ideas that you can try right away para tuloy-tuloy na ang iyong breakthrough, di ba? And now, to officially open today's session, we'll hear from a leader who has always been passionate about helping MSMEs grow and go digital, encouraging every small business owner to take that important step towards being legit and to use the right tools to make registration and daily operations smoother and more efficient. Advocate din siya ng digital innovation at patuloy niyang tinutulungan ang mga negosyante sa mas maging matalino, efficient, at future ready. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Vice President and Head of Globe Business, Ms. Katie Dizon.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 5th episode of the Breakthrough Masterclass webinar series, Small Biz Edition. We're very happy to see you again, lalo na sa mga kasama namin noong mga ilang episodes na nakalipas. If you recall, pinag-usapan na natin ang AI at kung paano ito makakatulong to make intelligent business decisions and drive customer loyalty. Pati na rin ang HR automation to strengthen your workforce. Sa episode 4, we focused on access to markets at kung paano mas mapapansin at mas makakarating ang inyong produkto to new customers and even global audiences. We hope all of you have enjoyed all our learning sessions so far. We are at the second to the last episode of this webinar series, and today, we're tackling something na halos lahat ng small business owners ay makaka-relate, ang legitimacy ng inyong negosyo. Legit ba ang inyong business? Aminin ninyo, the process of becoming a formal business is often intimidating. Lalo na kung nagsisimula ka talaga sa informal ways of selling. Sa social media, using your own account or through word of mouth, pero within your own circle or community. Minsan, nakakatakot dahil parang ang daming requirements. Nakakalito dahil iba-iba ang steps, forms at offices na kailangan puntahan. At syempre, mabigat talaga sa bulsa. Kaya marami sa atin ang nagtatanong, worth it ba talaga magparehistro? But here's the truth. Legitimizing your business should not just be about compliance. It's another way for you to unlock opportunities. Kapag registered ka, mas madali mag-open ng bank accounts, makakuha ng loans, makipag-partner with bigger companies, and even reach new customers who value credibility and trust. And this really matters. Marami tayong kilala na small business owners na hindi makakuha ng mas malaking supplier deal dahil hindi sila registered. Or freelancers who struggled to open a business bank account kasi walang formal documents. Meron ding mga business owners na nawawala ng chance makasali sa mga government programs simply because hindi sila legit. In our topic today, pag-uusapan natin kung bakit napaka-importante na i-formalize ang inyong business at kung paano makakatulong ang digital tools para mas maging simple ang proseso. So imagine this. Instead of spending hours sa pagpila sa DTI or BIR, ngayon, pwede ka nang mag-file at mag-track online. And instead of guesswork ang taxes or hiring someone just to do the math, you can already automate your financial obligations with speed and accuracy. With the right guidance and technology, sana makatulong ang learning session na ito na hindi lang para mabawasan ang stress ng paperwork, pero para rin palakasin ang foundation ng inyong negosyo. We hope that by listening to our invited experts, it can give you peace of mind and create stability na makakatulong para sa long-term growth ng inyong business. Excited kaming matulungan kayo sa pagiging legit. So let's now start the episode 5 of your breakthrough.
Ayan, we are looking for that perfect combination of guidance and technology. Thank you so much, Miss Katie, for that inspiring welcome message as always. Alam naman natin ngayon how important it is to adapt to the digital world, lalo na sa mga small businesses para ma-keep up sa competition. Ang tanong, gaano nga ba tayo kahanda to go digital? A few interesting facts here for us to take note of. Across the Asia-Pacific region, 79% of business leaders are prioritizing digitalization, recognizing the direct impact on revenue and growth. Even just here among our neighbors in Southeast Asia, 81% of organizations cite the use of digital technologies as a top strategic priority. And despite these goals that companies already have set, take note of this one. Over 90% of businesses continue to face challenges in unlocking the full value of digital transformation. And this is often due to fragmented adoption, a lack of clear direction, and difficulty in scaling initiatives. Okay, everyone, are we ready to start learning? But gusto naman namin ma-feel ang inyong excitement. Can I get some thumbs up in the chat or give me a wave in the chat, whichever emoji you prefer. You can give me some blue hearts if you prefer. Ayan. We always want to be able to make sure that everybody is ready, everybody is active, because we are always saying here in the Masterclass series na bawal mahiya, bawal ang shy type. So, if you have a comment, if you have a question, this is a totally open and safe environment to do that, so we can make sure that you learn as much as possible today. Ngayon naman, I know everyone is very excited to learn, so let's officially kick off your breakthrough with our first speaker. Our first speaker is someone who truly knows the ins and outs of business registration. Ang dami niyang karanasan sa pagbuo ng mga pulisiya para mas mapadali ang business registration sa Pilipinas. Kaya kung gusto niyong maging legit, ito na ang first step to making it all happen. This afternoon, he will guide us on how to make your business legit to get the maximum potential. He is the Supervising Trade Industry Department Specialist and the Unit Head of Policy and Monitoring Unit of the Business Name Registration Division at the Department of Trade and Industry, or for short, as we all know it, DTI. Let's give a warm virtual welcome to Mr. Teoper Ian Empes.
Hello po, good afternoon everyone. So, thank you Globe for inviting DTI para po i-present sa inyo kung paano ba maging legitimize tayo as business. So, based on our topic, legitimize to maximize, a step-by-step guide to formalizing your business. So, sa ating mga small entrepreneurs, ang mauuna talagang gagawin natin ay to secure ang ating business name registration sa DTI bago tayo pumunta sa ating mga local government unit para kumuha ng business permit at mag-register sa BIR for the taxation. As mentioned kanina ni Ms. Carla, sinasabi niya na ang hassle or nakaka-intimidate yung pagpaprocess or pagiging legitimate ng isang business kasi ang dami pang mga papers na dapat i-submit, yung mga requirements na dapat kunin, and ang hassle. But no, ang DTI po with the RA 11032, yung ating Republic Act 11032 or the Ease of Doing Business, mas pinadali na po ang registration ng business name registration, mas pina-easy at saka mas madali na po yung registration. So in my presentation po, we will discuss the business name registration. So ang next slide po natin, dito natin makikita ang overview kung paano ba mag-register ng business name sa DTI.
Magtatayo ka ba ng negosyo? Simulan sa pag-register ng iyong business name. Meet the newest DTI BNRS Next Gen. Di na kailangang pumila sa negosyo center. Mag-apply ng iyong business name online, anytime, anywhere. Mabilis lang. From application, payment, hanggang sa pag-download ng iyong certificate, just visit bnrs.dti.gov.ph. Mas pinadali ang pagbabayad ng iyong business name application gamit ang mga online payment options tulad ng e-wallet, online banking, at debit at credit cards. Ang dali, di ba? At kung mag-renew ka naman, pwedeng-pwede rin. Mag-apply o mag-renew ng business name with BNRS Next Gen.
Okay. So, nakita po natin kung gaano nakabilis ngayon ang pagre-register ng business name. Kung babalikan po natin yung proseso ng business name registration before, makikita natin na especially kapag mga unang buwan po ng taon kasi ito talaga yung dagsa ng rehistro ng business name. Sa mga DTI offices makikita natin ang haba ng mga pila. So ang daming tao nakapila, mag-aantay ng matagal, minsan isang buong araw nakapila para lang mag-register ng business name. But the DTI has launched ang business name registration system. So ano po ba yung business name registration? So ito po ay isang online platform na pwede pong gamitin para magrehistro ng ating business name. So ang kailangan lang po natin ay gadget, cellphone, or kung meron tayong mga tablet or mga computer. Sa mga computer shop, pwede po din natin siyang gawin. At saka kailangan din natin ng internet connection para ma-access natin yung BNRS. So bakit nga ba kailangan mag-register ng business name? So as first step in legitimizing your business, ang business name registration po ay nagiging protection natin. Ito yung ating legality. Umpisa sa proseso ng pagiging legal ng ating business. Makikita natin na kapag legal ang ating business, hindi tayo prone dun sa mga nangi-scam, hindi din tayo prone sa mga huli na sa government kasi legal ang ating business. So, kailangan talaga nating magrehistro ng ating business. And then, pangalawa po, yung business name registration, ito ang opisyal na pagkakakilanlan ng inyong negosyo. So, kumbaga sa tao, ito ang ating birth certificate. Yun ang ating business name registration certificate. Dito po makikita natin sa right side, ito po yung sample ng Certificate of Business Name Registration. So kapag natapos niyo na po yung proseso, ito po yung i-issue sa inyo ng system o ng DTI para po as proof na kayo ay nakapagrehistro na ng inyong business name. So makikita po natin dyan, sample, tinakpan lang po namin for privacy nung may business na to. So makikita po natin dito yung business name, yung territorial scope, then yung pangalan po ng owner, then kung gaano katagal yung validity, and kung kailan po na-issue, plus the business name number. Na meron din pong QR code na pwede nating gamitin to check if legit or hindi ang Certificate of Business Name Registration. Okay. So, paano po natin, paano tayo makakapagrehistro ng ating business name? So, as mentioned po, kailangan natin ng gadget at internet connection at bisitahin po ang BNRS portal. So, ito po ang bnrs.dti.gov.ph. Then, kailangan po nating i-click yung new registration. So, dito po, may mga steps lang po tayo na susundan. So, sa unang step po, kailangan lang i-provide yung ating mga personal information. Yung ating pangalan, yung date kung kailan tayo pinanganak, ang ating civil status, yung gender, and then kailangan rin po natin mag-provide ng ating email address. So bakit kailangan mag-provide ng email address? So kailangan po naming malaman na talagang legitimate na tao naman ang nagre-register at ma-access niya yung kanyang business name registration. So kapag po kayo magre-register ng business name, paalala po namin na kailangan po yung email address na ating ilalagay ay valid at saka na-access po ninyo. Kasi dito po namin ipapadala yung yung verification code para po ma-access ang inyong registration. And then dito din po natin marireceive yung ating mga certificate of business name registration once na nakapag-register na tayo. Ang ating official receipt doon sa business name registration and other documents po relative doon sa ating nirehistrong pangalan. So, yung mga pangalan, yung mga information po like yung name, yung ating business address, mahalaga po yan. Tapos yung pangalan ng business, syempre ito po yung ating nire-register. And then yung mga contact details, residence address, mobile number, telephone number if available, and yung ating email address. Then po, ang susunod na step dyan is magbabayad na po kayo pwede po natin siyang gawing online ang pagbabayad. So ngayon po, meron tayong mga e-payment providers onboarded sa ating system na pwede natin gamitin. Like si GCash, nasa business name registration na po siya. So pwede natin siyang gamitin para po makapagbayad sa pagpaparehistro ng ating business name. And then after naman po na ma-register or makapagbayad successfully, right there and then po, madadownload na natin ang ating certificate. So ipapadala din po yan ng system doon sa email address na nilagay ninyo, yung copy ng inyong certificate para hindi nyo na po siya mawala. So pwede nyo po siyang i-reprint na lang ng i-reprint para meron po kayong copy ng inyong certificate kasi kailangan po siyang ipaskill doon po sa area ng inyong business. Okay po. So pagre-rehistro po ng ating business name, ito po ang validity or nagtatagal po ang visa ng inyong registration ng 5 taon. So, ang kaibahan po natin sa local government unit na mayor's permit or business permit na annually kailangan nating i-renew, ang business name registration po 5 years yung kanyang visa. So, kailangan nyo po siyang i-renew every 5 years para po magamit pa rin natin yung ating business name. And then, sa pagbabayad po, mamimili po kayo kung anong territorial scope po yung inyong gagamitin. Meron po tayong 4 na territorial scope. Nandyan po yung barangay na ang halaga po ay 200. Andyan po ang city municipality, ang halaga ay 500. Ang regional po ay 1,000 and national 2,000. Tapos meron po siyang karagdagang 30 pesos sa kada transaction po para naman sa documentary stamp tax. So magtataka po ba kayo or baka po itanong ninyo, ano bang kaibahan ng territorial scope? Or ano bang dapat territorial scope ang kunin ko base sa business na itatayo ko? So ang DTI po, hindi po kami nagre-require ng specific or ng kaukulang territorial scope sa nature ng business or sa kung ano po ang itatayo natin. So ang territorial scope po, ito po kasi ang magsisilbing lugar kung saan po nakatayo ang inyong business. At ito po ang magsisilbing use po noong inyong business name kung gaano kalaki yung magiging sakop ng inyong business name registration. So kung kayo po ay mga small business, so iniisip po natin na kaka-start ko pa lang. So barangay muna ang pipiliin ko. So 200 pesos po yun plus 30 na documentary stamp tax. So ang mangyayari po doon, sa loob ng ganong barangay, kayo lang po ang makakagamit ng ganong pangalan. So hindi po kayo pwedeng gayahin ng ibang magtatayo din ng business na kapangalan or kahalintulad nung nirehistro ninyong pangalan. So sa pagtaas po ng territorial scope, ganon din po magiging mataas rin yung sakop ng inyong business name. So ang pinakamalaki natin dyan ay national. So ang ibig sabihin po niyan, nationwide, kayo lang yung may ganong business name. So kung ayaw po nating merong makatulad or may manggaya dun sa ating business name, so mataas na territorial scope po ang ating pipiliin. So sa re-rehistro po ng business name, meron ito yung composition po. So based po doon sa ating polisiya, 2 po ang composition ng isang business name. Nandyan po yung dominant portion. So ito po ay yung grupo ng mga salita, combination po ng letters or numbers. So nasa sa inyo po yan kung ano po yung gusto ninyong gamitin. Then andyan din po yung descriptor. So yung descriptor naman po, ito po yung mga salita na nagde-describe ng nature ng inyong business. Based po doon sa ating Philippine Standard Industrial Classification. So, pag nag-register po tayo, hindi po maaaring gusto lang natin dominant name yung irehistro or descriptor lang yung ating irehistro. Dapat po nandun si dominant portion and then descriptor. Kasi dito natin makikita kung sino ba yung business, and then ano ba yung nature ng kanyang business. Siya ba ay nagbebenta ng goods or nagpo-provide siya ng service. So dito natin malalaman yon sa descriptor. So ang example natin dyan, nandyan po yung A101 Space Leasing. So si Juan de la Cruz Rice Trading, Chedeng Fish Stall, and Mr. Bubbles Laundry Services. So mostly po sa mga establishment, nakikita natin yung business name nakapaskil sa mga karatula sa labas. So dito kasi nakikita na natin agad kahit malayo pa lang kung anong klaseng business na siya. So kung naghahanap tayo ng, for example, gusto nating bumili ng tinapay. So doon sa business name pa lang niya, makikita na natin na if bakery yung ginamit niya. So alam natin na nagbebenta siya ng tinapay. So yun yung kahalagahan po ng business name para madali po sa ating mga consumer or sa ating mga kliyente na malaman kung ano ba yung nature ng ating business at the same time, yun po ang gagamitin natin para makilala tayo kapag gusto na nating mag-expand ng ating business. Okay po. So sa pagre-rehistro po ng business name, nag-set tayo ng mga rules and regulation kung ano lang po yung pwede nating irehistro. Kasi yung minsan po, may mga nagre-rehistro na hindi naman siya katanggap-tanggap. Gusto lang niyang maging kakaiba yung kanyang business name, pero hindi naman katanggap-tanggap kapag tinignan na natin. So ito po yung mga paalala namin kapag magre-rehistro na tayo ng business name, isa-isip po natin to at iwasan natin na gamitin itong mga gantong words sa pagre-rehistro ng business name. Una po, kapag ang naisip nating business name ay labag sa batas or immoral na pangalan. So syempre, doon pa lang po labag sa batas, hindi na siya dapat irehistro. So kahit po i-register natin siya as ating business name, kung kinoconsider siya ng batas na illegal, hindi po natin siya malilegalize sa pagre-rehistro ng business name. Then, pangalawa po, kung ang inyong business name ay nagsasuggest ng quality. So ano ba yung mga business name na to? Ito po yung may mga best, may mga pinakamasarap, pinakamaganda, pinakamagaling. So yung mga words na nagsasuggest po ng quality, hindi po natin yan pinapayagan na maging part ng inyong business name. Bakit? Kasi po ang DTI, hindi lang po business name registration ang pinoproseso namin. Meron din po kaming other services like consumer protection. So, masingit ko lang po, ang pagre-register ng business name, hindi lang po ito para sa atin, kundi ito rin ay para sa ating mga consumer. As protection natin na sa atin lang yung name, as well as protection din po ng ating mga consumer. So, bakit natin hindi pinapayagan makapag-register ng mga suggestive of quality? Kasi possible po na pag nilagay natin pinakamasarap karinderya, then meron pong kumain sa atin at hindi nasarapan, pwede po tayong mareklamo. Pwede tayong mabalikan kasi doon pa lang sa pangalan natin, nilagay natin pinakamasarap. Pero kay client or doon sa customer natin na kumain, hindi naman niya natikman or nakuha yung pinakamasarap na luto para sa kanya. So, para maiwasan natin na balikan tayo ng ating mga customers, iiwasan natin ma-register yung mga words na nagsasuggest ng quality. So pangatlo po, kung ang inyong business name ay too generic. So ibig sabihin po nito sa too generic, wala pong pagkakakilanlan. So kunwari, bibili ka sa bakery, tapos nakalagay doon, Tinapay Bakery. So, kung saan ka bumili, doon sa Tinapay Bakery. So, hindi po natin alam kung saan yung Tinapay Bakery. So, wala siyang pagkakakilanlan. So, susunod naman po ay kung meron na siyang katulad sa mga existing na registration. So, maiwasan po natin yung unfair competition na sa pagre-rehistro kasi kung ginagaya lang natin yung existing na business, nawawala po yung fair competition. Then sunod po is mapanganib doon sa ating bansa. For example po yung mga ICs, yung mga NPA, yan po bawal. Then susunod naman po kapag pangalan naman siya ng ahensya ng gobyerno like DTI, DOH, yan po bawal. And then kapag misleading po ang nature ng business. So ang misleading po, ibig sabihin kapag nagrehistro tayo, ang nilagay natin construction services. Pero ang talagang nature pala ng business natin ay food. So hindi siya nagmamatch, hindi po align. So dapat kung ano po yung service or goods na ibebenta, yun po yung kukunin nating nature ng business. And lastly po, kapag pangalan ng ibang tao. So kung ako po magre-register ng business name gamit ang aking pangalan, so dapat gusto ko buo, Teo Per Ian Empis po yung ire-register ko. So hindi ko po pwedeng gamitin si Juan de la Cruz Bake Shop kasi hindi po Juan de la Cruz ang aking pangalan. Then, yung iba naman po, dahil alam natin na hindi madali ang proseso ng gobyerno sa pagre-rehistro, so yung iba, namimeke na lang ng mga dokumento. Or yung iba, nagre-resort sila, kumukuha sila ng mga fixer, kumbaga. So, alam naman natin kapag sinabing fixer, illegal. So, yung mapoprovide sa ating mga dokumento is illegal din or hindi siya legitimate. So, mag-ingat po tayo sa mga peking business name registration. So, kanina po, yung sample ng certificate, meron po doong QR code. So, pwede natin pong i-scan yon. Then, kapag yung business name information ay nag-appear doon sa DTI website at match po doon sa inyong certificate, ibig sabihin, registered, legit yung certificate of business name registration. And then kung tayo naman po ay consumer, so pwede nating i-check din yun sa BNRS website kung talagang registered ba sila. So punta lang po sa bnrs.dti.gov.ph, then pindutin natin yung search po doon. Then ilalagay po natin yung information ng business name na ating i-check. Then, lastly po, kung meron po tayong mga karagdagang ito po yung ating dagdag kaalaman. So, andito po yung mga mostly na tanong about business name registration po. So, sa website din po, pupunta tayo sa bnrs.dti.gov.ph tapos /FAQs. So, andito po yung mga common na mga tanong na tinatanong kapag nagre-rehistro ng business name registration. So, yun po yung ating proseso sa pagre-rehistro ng business name. Madali na po. Apply online, ilagay ang information, magbayad, at i-download ang certificate. So, 3 steps na lang siya. Unlike before na ang haba pa ng pila, madami pang documents na kailangang i-submit, and matagal ang proseso. Then, sa 3 steps na po yun, ano na po tayo, mas mapapadali na yung ating pagre-rehistro. So, i-visit lang po natin yung bnrs.dti.gov.ph to register your business. Okay po. So, in that case, yun po yung ating business name registration under the Department of Trade and Industry.
Sir Theo, thank you so much. It's so good to know na wala na masyadong pila-pila sa office. Pwede nang mag-online and it's not so difficult anymore to register your business name. Salamat din, sir, for that step-by-step. And ang dami na rin considerations na what do we have to think about when we are going to register our business name. Kung ano-ano yung mga bawal, ano yung okay na mga steps to take, diba? So, if you have questions for Sir Theo, don't you worry. We have time to talk to him later during our fireside chat. So, as we're always saying, bawal ang shy type dito sa Breakthrough Masterclass. You can go down to the bottom of your screen, look for that Q&A button, and you can ask your questions for our speakers there at any time. But make sure you do it as soon as you can, because after our last speaker, we're going to dive into those questions and try to get to as many as we can later on. Wag na kayong mahiya, guys. This is your chance to ask the experts. Di ba? Galing DTI mismo. We can ask questions later during our fireside chat. But first, let's move on to our next speaker of the day. And our next speaker has a story that many of us can relate to. Isa itong kwento ng passion, hard work, at kung paano niya unti-unting na-build ang isang legit at successful na business from the ground up. It's a wonderful story there of doing it from the start. She is the owner and creative director of Fabe Weddings and Events. At isa rin siyang certified wedding specialist under Weddings Beautiful Worldwide. O diba, sa mga soon-to-be married dyan, baka naman. Bago niya naabot ang itong success, she spent 13 years abroad. Doon niya dinadevelop ang passion niya for organization, creativity, and appreciating cultural diversity. Pagbalik niya sa Pilipinas, tinuloy niya ang dream niya and earned her degree in Information Technology from St. Paul University, Iloilo. And now, with a decade of experience, over a decade of experience sa wedding and events industry, she has become one of the most trusted names in Iloilo. Here to talk more about her trials, struggles, and of course, breakthroughs. Let's give a digital welcome to Miss Marie Faye Mondeja Molenio.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you so much for having me here today, Glow Business. I do appreciate the opportunity. Well, now let me go ahead and start my share of the story. So yes, I am Marie Faye Mondeja Molenio. I'm the owner and creative director of Faye Weddings and Events. I am actually a proud Ilongga entrepreneur and a certified wedding specialist. So for the past 10 years, my team and I have been helping couples turn their dream weddings into reality. Umulan man o bumagyo, rain or shine, typhoon or not, yes, we are here. But behind every beautiful celebration was also a long, sometimes messy, yet fulfilling journey toward becoming a legit business. One that's properly registered, tax compliant, and most importantly, trusted. And that's the story I'll be sharing with you today. The good, the bad, and everything worth in between. So way back when I was starting, if you have seen there in the picture, so it was not an easy feat. So like many small entrepreneurs, I started with pure passion, not paperwork. Fabe Weddings and Events began as a simple hobby, helping friends plan our wedding, managing details, and finding joy in every couples I do. So yes, in my early years, I wore many hats, literally. So naging makeup artist ako, 2014. I was a stylist doing the props. I was also a florist. Umu-order ako ng flowers from Manila to bring it here in Iloilo. And even I became a photographer and a videographer before I found my niche as a wedding planner full-time in Fabe Weddings and in Events. So every role taught me something new about creativity, teamwork, and the heart behind every celebration. In an industry where emotions, artistry, and precision intertwine, I founded Fabe Weddings and Events together with my husband. So Bernard, to help couples celebrate love in its most personal form. So what started as a favor for a friend back in 2014 has grown into one of Iloilo's most trusted wedding planning firms. Now, celebrating a decade, creating meaningful, seamless, and beautiful orchestrated events. I am now the owner, creative director. So way back, just to give a quick history, so I actually was born in Manila, raised in Kuwait, and now proudly based in Iloilo. So I've always loved bringing people together through events. After earning my degree, I followed my true calling, the wedding planning. So in 2018, I became the first certified wedding specialist in Iloilo City under the Weddings Beautiful Worldwide. Since I've continued to grow in my craft. So as a graduate also, I've also earned and took courses with master classes with Teddy Manuel, and proudly now a humble member of the Philippine Association of Wedding Planners and the Business Network International Themis Iloilo Central Region, currently serving as the Vice President. So at Fave Weddings and Event as your wedding planner, we will walk with our clients as your event expert, your negotiator, and confidant. Every detail matters because every story matters. For me, wedding planning isn't my job, it's my full time calling. It's where passion meets purpose, and where every storm becomes an experience worth remembering. So we make aspirations possible. But as our bookings grew, I realized passion wasn't enough. We needed structure, accountability, and legitimacy. That's when Department of Trade and Industry and I met. And that became the turning point of our business story. As Fave Weddings and Events grew, we began working with bigger clients and more established venues. Then came the reality check. They started asking for business permits, registration papers, and official receipts. That's when it hit me. Being passionate was good, but being legitimate was essential. Going legit isn't just about compliance, it's about credibility and opportunity. It's what separates a hobby from true business. So once we got registered, doors began to open. From joining wedding associations and partnering with corporate clients to being featured in national directories, legitimacy gave us something that passion alone couldn't. That's trust, visibility, and respect. But of course, the road to legitimacy wasn't easy. When I first walked into the Department of Trade and Industry, I thought it was just about getting a business permit. But what I found was a gateway to real growth. Through DTI, Fave Weddings and Events finally became a recognized name, something official, something trusted, and visible. It wasn't just a document, it was the foundation of our credibility as entrepreneurs. As shown in the slide, the registration became the core of our business transformation. Number one, there's legitimacy. We gained the ability to issue official receipts through our BIR registration, which built client confidence and accountability. There was also credibility. We qualified for collaborations, supplier accreditations, and even digital listings, proof that we are recognized by the industry. There were also great opportunities. We have access to seminars, trade programs, business loans, and learning platforms that help us grow as business owners and our business. And of course, the reputation that comes along with it. With legitimacy came increased client trust, loyalty, and positive referrals, our strongest form of marketing. DTI didn't just register our business, it strengthened our brand identity. It gave Fave a name that was not only creative, but also credible, official, and visible in the market. And from that moment on, our clients or partners asked, "Are you a legitimate business?" I can proudly say, yes, I do. Yes, we do. Legit po kami. Let's be real. The process wasn't easy. When I decided to make Fave Weddings and Events a legitimate business, I quickly learned that passion alone cannot get me through the paperwork. There were multiple offices, long queues, and confusing forms. And yes, I am one of the people na ayokong pumila. I have a lot of things to do, a lot of timelines to accomplish. Long queues are really a burden. From DTI to BIR to LGU permits, I remember spending hours just trying to get one document right. Carrying folders from one agency to another, only to realize I missed a single requirement. Sa totoo lang, most of the people who are close to me knows that tulog lang talaga ang pahinga ko when it comes to running an event industry schedule. And then now came the taxes as well. Wow. It honestly felt like learning a new language. Terms like withholding, percentage tax, VAT, were completely foreign to me. There were moments of frustration, moments I felt lost, but I kept reminding myself that every step was a part of learning. Of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. I faced a lot of challenges in figuring out the right business clarification or classification, preparing documents properly, and understanding tax compliance for the first time. On top of that, I was juggling client meetings, wedding timelines, and on the day coordination duties, all while trying to meet filing deadlines. Yes, I'm at this age na medyo nakakalimutan ko na yung mga due dates kahit minsan sa mga payables. But yes, with digitalization, really it changed the game. And like many small business owners, I had that constant fear. What if I make a mistake at filing? But over time, those mistakes became lessons. They pushed me to ask questions, seek help, and improve our process. Looking back, the challenges were tough, but they were also the best teachers. Because every line I waited in, and every form I filled out, and every tax term I learned brought me one step closer to becoming not just a business owner, but a responsible and resilient entrepreneur. The good digital tools that changed the game. Thankfully, really right now in 2025, times have changed. What used to be long lines, like folders and endless paperwork, has now become a few clicks away, all thanks to digitalization. Over time, I discovered that technology could actually make business legitimacy easier and more empowering. The Department of Trade and Industry now has the DTI Business Name Registration System, where I could register our business name online in just minutes. The Bureau of Internal Revenue also launched the BIR e-registration and EFPS systems and other e-services, allowing us to secure our TIN, Certificate of Registration, and even file taxes without leaving my desk. On top of that, GCash payments and other platforms for online payment made it easier, made tax payments and bookkeeping simpler and more organized. And with Globe Business providing digital solutions and learning programs for SMEs, entrepreneurs like me gained the confidence to manage our business more efficiently and legitimately. Digitalization truly changed the game. It turned what used to be my biggest headache, registration and taxation, into something I could actually handle, understand, and even appreciate. Now, renewing our business registration, filing taxes, and tracking payments can all be done online. No more endless lines, just a few clicks. Most importantly, these digital tools gave me something priceless. More time to focus on what truly matters, my clients, my team, and the events we love creating. The worth it is now what is next. Growth, legitimacy, and opportunities. Becoming a legitimate business didn't just make me compliant, it made me confident. When I registered Fave Weddings, I gained more than a business permit. I gained a peace of mind and brand authority. Legitimacy gave me the assurance that I was building something real, something with integrity. Clients began to trust more because they knew they were working with a credible professional business. Partners started to respect me more than because they saw the value of collaborating with someone who takes her craft seriously. From being a local planner, I grew into a recognized entrepreneur, someone who could issue receipts, collaborate with major brands, and even stand here today to share my story with you guys. And that's what legitimacy truly gave me, the confidence to dream bigger. After becoming fully registered, doors opened for us. We were invited to speak at bridal fairs, honored to take part in ribbon-cutting ceremonies alongside with esteemed leaders in various companies and government offices, collaborating with top hotels, and take part in corporate events and university talks. Fave Weddings became known not just for creativity, but for credibility. I was also grateful to be part of the Teddy Manuel Masterclass experience. It's a beautiful journey of growth, collaboration, creativity, and deeper passion. for event styling. So each milestone we achieve, celebrating our 10th year last year, 10-10-24 or isang dekada, leading in business networks and forming media brand partnerships, all stem from that one important decision is to legitimize. Because legitimacy didn't just open opportunities, it also opened doors to membership in respective professional organizations. Becoming a member of the Philippine Association of Wedding Planners and Business Network International or BNI, Timis Iloilo Central Region member, currently serving as the Vice President. Both required complete business documentation, proof that we operate with integrity, accountability, and professionalism. Being part of these organizations continually challenges me to grow, collaborate, and represent our industry with excellence. Because when you choose legitimacy, you're not just formalizing your business, you're affirming your worth, your purpose, and your potential to grow. Legitimacy isn't just paperwork, it's a peace of mind, respect earned, and opportunities unlocked. So to my fellow entrepreneurs, I know that the word legitimacy can sometimes feel intimidating, but the paperwork, the permits, the taxes, they all sound like extra weight on top of the hustle we already do every day. But what if I told you that behind every paper is a promise of growth? Being legitimate isn't just about compliance. It's about confidence. It's about preparing your business for bigger opportunities, collaborations, memberships, and platforms that recognize and elevate what you've worked hard to build. Being future ready truly begins with being legit ready. So to every aspiring and small business owner here, don't fear legitimacy. Embrace it. Because behind those papers and taxes are bigger doors waiting to open. The good moments will make you proud, the bad moments will make you stronger, and the worth it moments will remind you why you started. So again, this is Miss Faye with all love and gratitude. You have my QR code if you want to get in touch with me. I am here, your wedding planner for Faye Weddings and Events, making your aspirations possible. Thank you as well to the DTI, BRR, and Globe Business for giving us platforms to dream, to grow, and to be legit and a future ready.
Miss Faye, thank you so much for sharing your inspiring journey with us, o diba? From passion to becoming a fully legit business and one of the most trusted industry names. Ang sarap siguro ng feeling, no? Pag nagtanong si client, oh, can you give me an OR? Baka hindi tayo matuloy. And you can say, syempre, legit kaming business, registered. O diba? Sarap ng feeling. Really good to know that it doesn't have to be such a difficult process. O diba, dalawa ng speakers ang nakasabi na hindi na kailangan ng pila-pila sa mga offices, sa mga departments. It is now streamlined because of digitalization. And that is such a good feeling to know that it can be easier for you and it doesn't have to be a painful process or a hassle process, as Sir Theo shared with us earlier also. Okay, now let's move things along. Oh, but before that, quick reminder. If you have questions for any of our speakers, please don't be shy. This is your opportunity to ask the experts. So, before we get to our fireside chat, please do click on that Q&A button. It's over there at the bottom of your screen. And at any time, you can send those in, but do it soon because we're getting close to our Q&A portion. Okay, to close out our speaker sessions, meron tayong makakasama na experienced leader pagdating sa sales at business operations. She is the Director of Sales for Omnichannel of Globe Business, kung saan higit na isang dekada na siyang tumutulong sa mga MSMEs para mas mapaunlad ang kanilang negosyo. Other than her corporate role, isa rin siyang entrepreneur na may sariling steak business, which means alam na alam niya talaga ang mga struggle at ang mga breakthrough ng isang business owner. Ngayong hapon, ibabahagi niya sa atin kung paano nga ba gagamitin ang mga digital tools para sa iyong pag-transition. Let's welcome on screen Miss Heidi Glifonea.
Hello everyone! Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Again, I'm Heidi Icaro Glifonea, Director and Head of Omni Sales Channel for Globe Business. So, nakaka-inspire, no? Yung mga talk and shinare ni na Sir Theo and Miss Faye. So, for today, it's about recognizing a massive milestone for all of you. Kasi finally, official na ang mga businesses ninyo. And what comes with that is ensuring that your operational tools reflect that business legitimacy. So the goal of this afternoon session is to provide a clear and actionable roadmap for you kung paano makakatulong tong mga professional system and tools natin to help drive credibility and growth, especially coming from the consumer grade tools na nakasanayan na natin. Okay. Sige. Now, before anything else, I know hindi biro ang pinagdaanan nyo para maging legitimate ang business nyo. We all started with working on, naririnig nyo to, passion projects or side hustle. Always keeping it as back burner. Kasi sa panahon natin ngayon, aminin natin, hindi madaling mag-put up ng business. Okay, so, as mentioned, we all started with working on passion project and side hustle. Kasi, as sabi ko nga kanina, hindi ganun kadali mag-put up ng business. Kaya this afternoon, I encourage every one of you, kasama na po ako, to celebrate. Take a moment to celebrate the hard work, the sleepless nights, mga puyatan, kakaisip kung kakayanin ko ba to? Mapagtatagumpayan ko ba to? Kasi now, you are no longer just a person with an idea. Be proud kasi you are a registered entity. Sabi nga ni Miss Faye kanina, legit na tayo. So after that feeling has settled, like most of us Filipinos, baka naririnig nyo to, another day, another watch. Another day, another diamond. Another day, another bag. Kasi ganito talaga yung mga Pilipinong negosyante. Another day means another kayod. Kailangan mo na i-condition ang sarili mo for that mindset shift na from side hustle mindset to a formal enterprise. Kasi every decision now needs to be made through the lens of a serious business. Lalong sa panahon ngayon, hindi na pwede yung, pwede na, sakto na yan, papasa na yan. Kasi more than you, deserve ng customers natin ng business that they can rely on. So, after that celebration, ano na nga ba ang next step? Hindi tayo syempre titigil sa change ng mindset. The critical step now at kadalasang na-overlook ng mga business owners na katulad natin is formalizing the technology and tools you use every single day. And they must be as legitimate as your registration status na sa ngayon. So, kailangan nating sabayan. Okay. Now, how do we go from racket to legit? I-review natin kung ano yung mga tools natin na kadalasan nating ginagamit kasi naging personal habits na natin. Then, unconsciously, na-trap na tayo doon. So, number 1 is email. Tatanungin ko po kayo, ilan dito ang hanggang ngayon ay may at yahoo.com pa? At gmail.com pa na ginagamit as their business email. Kasi sa panahon ngayon, this is the clearest visual signal na we're not yet fully established. Kasi iba kapag ang nakita ng mga customer natin is, 'di ba, Heidi at HaileySteakside.ph. So, andun yung branding, 'di ba, ng business mo. Okay, so that's one, email. Next is connectivity. Relying on basic residential internet and phone plans. It's kind of risky kasi what happens, for example, you have a critical call tapos nagda-drop siya kasi hindi naka-high priority yung connection mo sa bahay. Or when your family member starts streaming, tapos biglang naghang yung payment transaction. Nakakaano, 'di ba? Nakaka-stress and nakaka-frustrate. And isipin nyo na lang, hindi lang ikaw or kayo yung nafo-frustrate niyan, for sure. Kasi even our customer, your customer, mas kabado sila. Kaya importante talaga to separate, no, your personal and your professional tools. Third, boundaries. Dito tayo hirap mag-separate, as mentioned. Not because we don't know any better, but because ito yung nakakasanayan na. You think it adds personal touch. But when you're talking to hundreds or even thousands of customer, do you think it will be helpful for you and for them to call you on a personal line rather on your dedicated professional line? Or use your personal cloud storage wherein dun din nakasave yung mga family vacation pics ninyo and your annual family gatherings. 'Di ba? Kasi using your personal phone number or cloud storage completely mixes your personal life with business. So because of that, it creates confusion on your side and on the customer side. Minsan nakaka-burn out, 'di ba? Lalo na kung nag-mix up na. So that could be a strike to your credibility as a serious business. Okay. Now let's talk about the real cost. Mostly because nagstay tayo sa nakasanayan natin and paano ito possible makaapekto ng credibility ninyo. Number one is security. Kasi consumer tools, yes, madalas we get them and we stick with them kasi it's free. But those tools often lack business-grade defense or security. Pag na-breach ang personal account ninyo, it's not just your vacation photo at risk. Even yung confidential data ng mga clients nyo, maaari ding makompromise. And this can actually lead, sadly, to a legal issues. And syempre, may balik yun sa credibility nyo as a business owner. And possible, massive reputational damage. And hindi natin gusto yon. Lalo na ngayon sa social media, ang dali-dali na, 'di ba, na i-post kapag meron tayong medyo kapalpakang nangyari sa business natin. Second, the blurred boundaries. We all started small. Admittedly, wala tayong masyadong know-how what will be successful or not. So sigurado din ako madami sa inyo, katulad ko noon, hirap i-separate talaga yung business sa personal. Pero may mas matindi dyan eh. If that involves your accounting and finance system na. Kasi when digital boundaries are lost, accounting becomes bangungot. It's really a nightmare. Because you explaining to your account or to BIR why a single bank account or a credit card holds both business revenue and personal purchase. 'Di ba? Ang hirap nun. Then, of course, kasunod niyan, tahi-tahi na yan, loss of trust. Lahat tayo here, one way or another, naging consumers din tayo, or even now we are consumers. So we should put ourselves in that POV. Clients subconsciously judge your professionalism by your tools. Aminin natin yan. Something as simple as a non-branded email as shared kanina or unsecured payment link can break trust faster than any marketing campaign can build it. Okay? And then lastly, compliance or lack of clear digital records. Kasi because of that lacking digital records, it complicates future audits and compliance requirements. And the sooner you clean up your data, the better for your business. Kung may sistema kayo na nagwo-work for your finances, madali na sundan to for the future requirements. Okay. Now, having the tools is one thing. Pero you have to make sure that the tools run as efficiently as possible. For that, you need to make sure your connectivity is stable. Napaka-importante po nito kasi aminin natin, lahat ng mga online transaction natin dumadaan na talaga sa ating broadband or Wi-Fi connection. That's why very important po yung reliability. So for your legit business, kailangan nyo na po ng business grade connectivity tulad ng broadband and mobile data because it ensures the stability and priority support necessary to be reliable for critical transactions and of course mga client calls and client meeting natin. You get the stability you need when you need it most. Kasi imagine this guys, may important transaction ka, bulk orders from a hotel chain, for example. Tapos biglang bibitaw yung connection mo. Diba? Turn off yon sa customer natin. Or an important call from a possible international partnership pero nalaglag yung Zoom call. Next, diba? So, importante na yung connectivity mo is stable. Kasi that can get the trust of your customer kasi they can rely on you. Next, clear separation. Okay, dedicated system. So, kanina, from separating your emails for you and your team and even separate networks, these things give you a crystal clear audit trail. Kasi there's a distinction. This distinction kasi is very essential for compliance at napaka-importante po yan for a legit business. Simplified accounting at pati makakatulong to sa valuation ninyo in the future as mentioned ni Ms. Faye kanina. In case you decide to sell or welcome your investors. Kailangan klaro lahat yung paperworks ninyo. Okay? Then, scalability. Professional systems are designed for growth. Siyempre, nagbi-business tayo with the expectation na lalago at lalaki yung negosyo natin. With proper tools, you can easily add new team members or new services without having to completely rebuild your infrastructure or overhaul the existing workflow. Kaya kailangan ready tayo to scale and grow. Now, another thing you should consider, syempre, when you go legit, and part of why we take that extra step to be registered is also be known as a credible brand. 'Di ba? We need to elevate our brand. Pag rehistrado ka na, mas makakampante na yung mga customers ninyo. Kasi sa dami ng possible nyong competitor sa panahon ngayon, madaming customers ang nagbe-base pa din, hindi lamang sa presyo, kundi sa mapagkakatiwalaan ko ba tong business na to. 'Di ba? So, ano-ano nga ba yung mga kino-consider? Number 1, nabanggit ko kanina, branded email domain. This is your digital handshake. First contact pa lang, mai-establish mo na legit ka and it adds sophistication din in conducting business. It helps you establish customer trust. Next is VoIP or the dedicated lines. Those cloud-based phone systems allow you to project a professional image that boosts your brand and secures client trust. Especially sa panahon ngayon. 'Di ba ang dami na tayong hindi sinasagot na tawag kasi natatakot tayo baka mamaya scammer yung mga yon, mga fraudster. So, from your end naman as a business owner, alam na ng customers mo sinong tatawag. Plus, no more missed calls or confusion over personal numbers kasi alam nila na itong dedicated system mo or dedicated line is calling from your legit and official business office. Okay? Then, third is the payment system. Isa to sa mahalagang tool na kailangan talagang pag-investan nating mga business owner. Minsan, ang customer nagawa na ang lahat, magbabayad na lang. Pero dahil mabagal yung connection and yung platform natin, may processing time na notice, nag-aalangan silang magbayad because syempre for them, they're spending their hard-earned money. 'Di ba? Ang recommendation ko, utilize formal, protected, and customized invoicing and payment processing tools. The checkout experience needs to feel polished and secure. Hindi tayo dapat nag-e-end lang sa branding and marketing. Hanggang sa checkout, dapat from beginning to end, customer, mapapamalas natin na they are dealing with trustworthy business partners. And then finally, your digital tools, because these are the visible operating system of your business. They must reflect the quality and professionalism of your product and services. Whether that's automating your marketing materials sa social media, account payables and accounts receivable, the wholesale business owners here, those are the international partners, 'di ba? Kaya importante na we elevate our digital tools. And after nating ma-set up ang lahat ng to, now you can use it to make sure you do, okay? Make sure you do the formal system reinforced legitimacy. Deserved natin yan after ng pinagdaanan nating napakahabang proseso para ma-legitimize. And not all business lasts to even take that step. So really, it's something to celebrate. Make it very clear and visible. You've registered your business. Now, take that legal status work for you. Actively use your business type in your email signature, on your social media bio, 'di ba? Mga website footer. Kasi this visibility confirms your legal status and competence. I'm sure madami na din kayong nakikita from other business profiles na pinagmamalaki talaga nila, naka-display dyan that they are DTI registered or issue a receipt for every transaction. That doesn't only give us bragging rights, hindi lang to pagyayabang. It signals to our clients na any issues or concerns sa products, sa services natin, may makakausap pa din sila. And then, introduce automation. The best part of professional tools is automation. Tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, these platforms automate repetitive administrative tasks that eat up your time. Mula payroll, invoicing, expense categorization, and tax reporting. This would totally be helpful once na-set up na niya ng maayos at may proper skill set ang mga team members ninyo. So, take time and patience because when done right, these professional tools that we are talking about become accelerators for your business. They help you stay legitimate, compliant, and ultimately more profitable. And of course, compliance foundation. Para sa patuloy na paglago ng business ninyo, formal, structured system make the continuous and necessary task of documentation and tax filing significantly easier. So the right platform handles the complexities for you. Kaya samantalahin po natin yan. So now, let's go to the practical next steps. Una na po, ang auditing. Audit your current tools. The first step is simple lang po. Gawa kayo ng listahan kahit mamaya. Go through your operation and identify every single place where you are still relying sa libre and personal consumer grade tool. Tapos itanong nyo po sa sarili nyo or sa team nyo, does this tool make my business look professional? Is it secure? Kasi if the answer po is no, it's time to move on. Meaning, make that switch to business grade. Correct. Transition na tayo. Don't stitch together multiple free services. Madaming nag-iisip, mahal. Na kung mahal yan, kumukuha ng license tools. Pero babalik tayo dun sa importance po ng security, especially sa data ng business at ng mga clients na meron ka. So, dito ko po ipapasok yung mga integrated business packages like Google Workspace, Microsoft 365, kasi it manage na your email, your calendar, your collaboration under one secure umbrella. And dito po matutulungan namin kayo sa Globe Business kasi meron kaming mga business starter package na binuo talaga for new and start-up businesses like you. Okay? Then, next naman po is the admin automation. Napaka-importante nito. Kanina nabanggit ko din na because legitimate na ang business nyo, now more than ever, we report to regulators and government agencies. Ito yung medyo madugo. So now is the time to invest in accounting platform that works for your business. Perhaps something that is designed for small and medium business muna. Automate recurring invoicing. Use digital signature tools for contracts to streamline your workflow. And digital trust, ito po, napakasimple pero most powerful na i-advise ko is implement multi-factor authentication or MFA. Dapat zero trust tayo. Hindi naman dahil may trust issue po tayo, no? Simple lang, authenticate para this is a simple authentication kasi na nagiging entry para sa mga threat actors. So kahit second in command mo sa business, asawa mo man yan, kapatid, kamag-anak, ensure that all of them require MFA across all business accounts, especially highly critical transactions, because this is the best defense against cyber threats and a key part of demonstrating reliability to your clients. So now that we all have this information, I encourage you all to reframe the mindset na going legit and formal is too intimidating and expensive. Kasi hindi po. Legitimacy doesn't have to be intimidating. Especially with the modern technology we have now, this technology made professional operations accessible and affordable for any small business. And if sa tingin nyo po na kailangan nyo pa din ng training and in-depth discussion, we have our Globe Business Solution Consultants who can discuss your budget, your priorities, and kung ano pa pong kailangan ninyo. So, I leave you with this key takeaway. Moving from personal to professional tools is a small investment that yields a massive ongoing return on credibility, efficiency, and client trust. So tulad ng subject natin today, think long-term. You are investing in your future reputation. You've done the hardest work by making your business official. Now let's give your business the professional engine it deserves. And always remember po that Globe Business is always here to assist and ready to partner with you. So, marami pong salamat. Andito po yung QR code. You can scan that if you want to schedule a free consultation with Globe Business. Maraming salamat po.
Miss Heidi there, thank you so much. We'll be hearing more from her in just a little bit. And tama-tama yung sinabi ni Miss Heidi. Our clients, our customers deserve a business they can rely on. Sabi nga niya, we can achieve that by having good digital boundaries, by taking everything from personal to professional. Very, very good points there. Thank you, Miss Heidi. And again, sa mga may tanong dyan, don't be shy, please. It's almost time for our Q&A session. So, before we run out of time, now is when you should be sending in those questions because we're about to bring everybody on screen for that fireside chat. The Q&A button should be at the bottom of your screen. You can spot it there, give it a tap, and send in your questions for our speakers. Okay. Now, we're gonna bring it back around to one of our important topics of the day, no? Sa dami ng natutunan natin ngayon from our speakers, we already know kung gaano kaimportante ang digital transformation sa isang negosyo. And we always have to ask ourselves, gaano nga ba ka-ready ang business ko to go digital? We have to know that. And so, this part is important not only for our own learning, not only for our own evaluation, but if you have your heart set on those prizes of the raffle later, you have to scan the QR code that's showing up right here beside me. Ayan, that is the QR code for our DigiTest. If you missed the explanation earlier, let me stress again how important this is because baka naman hindi pa natin alam yung status ng ating business in terms of how digital ready we are. So, that's what DigiTest is for. It's going to tell you how far along am I in my business journey in terms of being digital. How ready am I for this digital world? Why? Because across sa Asia Pacific pa lang, 79% of business leaders are prioritizing digitalization. And by the way, while I'm giving you this explanation and we're going through this together, feel free to answer that DigiTest now. You can do it as I'm speaking so that we can make sure na kasama ka sa raffle mamaya at the end of the program. So make sure you complete that. I'm gonna be here explaining it, but feel free to fill out that DigiTest right now. Like I was saying, even just here in Southeast Asia, 81% of organizations say that the use of digital technology is a top strategic priority. And yet, even though everybody is saying that, na yes, it is a priority for us, despite saying that, over 90%, 90 of businesses continue to face challenges in unlocking the full value of digital transformation. Why? This is often due to fragmented adoption, maybe there's a lack of a clear direction, and there's difficulty in scaling up your initiatives. And that's where this test beside me comes in. It helps you find out the answer to all of those questions. Now, what is DigiTest? DigiTest is developed by Globe Business, and we call it a digital maturity assessment tool. How far along are you in your journey? It provides guidance, insight, and the confidence to take the next step in your business's digital transformation journey. With this clarity, with knowing where you stand, syempre, ano yung sunod? Courage na yan. Kasi alam mo na where you stand. And so, with that courage comes transformation. That is the power of DigiTest, helping Filipino businesses thrive today, tomorrow, and beyond. And your business can be one of those thriving businesses. So, this is almost the end of my explanation, but this is your chance. Please do scan that QR code to discover your digital readiness. And as an extra treat for that, the ones who answer the DigiTest will become eligible for our raffle prizes at the end of the program. Again, yeah, you can scan that, take a screenshot, but answer it as soon as you can because we are now moving on to our fireside chat. All right, ngayon naman, it is time to bring back all of our speakers on the screen for an open fireside chat. This is your chance to hear them all exchange ideas, respond to relatable questions, and share even more insights that can help you in your business journey. So again, kung meron pa kayong mga tanong for our speakers, this is the time to send that in. Down below, you will see the Q&A button. You'll have a few more moments to do that. Type in your questions, hit send, and our Globe Business representatives are ready to collect them and pass them along para masagot ng mga speakers natin. The professionals are in the room with us at this moment, so let's make the most of it and welcome back our speakers, Mr. Theo, Miss Faye, and Miss Heidi. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
All right, let's do a quick check. Can we all hear and see each other just fine? We can do a thumbs up if we can all hear and see each other, okay? Okay, great. Okay, let's hop to it, shall we? We've got a lot of great questions coming in, so let's hop right to it. Sir Theo, ito yung first question for you. pwede po bang palitan yung scope? Like from barangay going to a higher scope? And pwede bang palitan ito during renewal sa mismong BNRS?
Okay. So for the business name registration po, as mentioned, ang validity niya is 5 years. So within the 5-year validity po, pwede tayong mag-upgrade, pwede rin tayong mag-downgrade ng ating territorial scope. So kung unang nirehistro natin ay barangay, so pwede natin siyang palitan into city municipality, regional, or national. However, since barangay lang siya, kailangan munang i-check ng system kung meron ba kayong makakapangalan doon sa lugar na pagtatayo or doon sa lugar na nasasakop nung bago nyong territorial scope. Then pwede po siyang gawin within the 5-year validity, pwede on the 2nd year, 3rd, 4th, even on the 5th year or the renewal period. Pwede po tayong mag-upgrade or downgrade ng territorial scope.
Thank you, Sir Theo. And I think worth it naman talaga yung process, no? It's good news. It means you're growing. It means you're reaching more people, right? And I think it's definitely worth the effort to make sure na compliant ka on the bigger scale as your business continues to grow. Now, I'm sure Faye has a relatable experience in terms of growing the business. Faye, you have such an impressive story. This question is for you. And it says, before registration, what were the challenges or limitations you faced when you were still an informal business?
Well, first of all, before the registration, the challenges that I faced was as an informal business was the accreditation issues. Many venues really require accreditation before you can work with them. And as an informal business, I couldn't qualify. As well as, there was no legal protection as well. So kung may issues sa client or project, walang legal backing or protection since the business wasn't registered at first. And there were also missed opportunities to join organizations kasi since you're unable to participate in wedding or business networks, they require legitimacy, which meant fewer referrals and also partnerships. I was able before to join, may mga organizations ako na join na decline kasi hindi pa kompleto yung permits and all way back then. So that's why tinrabaho ko talaga siya to become first legend. So nung second time, they say it's the sweet time, pumasa na sa registered na rin. So member na rin ako ngayon. Then lastly, before that, there was also limited business growth and marketing. Hindi mo ma-full swing ang business operations mo in the business or marketing initiatives without being a legally registered entity. So that's why, when everything got it, history sets itself.
I'm sure that the scaling went so much faster once naging legit ka na. Correct. Because I'm
Yes.
sure when you're still informal status, syempre mga friends and family pa yung customers mo, mga kapitbahay, mga referral lang. But of course, when you move on to yung mga kliyente mo, mga big companies na, mga, very by the book ang mga operations nila, hindi ka talaga makakwalify, no? Kung hindi ka legit na business. Now,
Yeah.
as we move into being a legit business, Miss Heidi, this question is for you. And it says here, for micro businesses with limited manpower, with operational upgrades and in their digital transformation journey, which operational upgrades, can they make in their digital journey to create the biggest and most immediate enhancements in customer experience?
Well, for me, I would suggest you can start from small portion of your of your operation. Like yung mga invoice tracking ninyo, 'di ba? Like halimbawa inventory and sales tracking. Then once you're comfortable na, babalik ako dun sa topic natin ngayon na parang you can step-by-step transition. Hindi mo kailangang biglain ang paglipat mo or pag-upgrade mo on digital. Start with one area muna. And marami namang user-friendly technology na available. Huwag nating isipin na kapag pinag-usapan natin yung digital transformation, it's very tech-heavy. Hindi po. Ang importante po sa mga tulad kong business owner, ang importante, piliin mo yung platform na swak sa size and need ng business mo. Hindi lang basta kasi ito yung uso or ito yung hype. So, yon. So don't hesitate to to start baby step in digital transformation.
Thanks, Miss Heidi. I think common theme ito here on Breakthrough, no, na you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You don't have to try to keep up with these giant companies who have all of the programs and all of the equipment and all of the invested services, because you can't compare it side by side, and you don't have to. And something we always talk about here on Breakthrough is that there are solutions available for your size of business. Hindi naman kailangan, one size fits all. No, meron namang custom for your smaller businesses, for your MSMEs. And, it's always good to know na you don't have to try to do it all at once. As you say, small steps are very important. Now, I have another question here for you, Sir Theo. And it says, ayan, di ba, na-mention na natin yung good news yan. When your business is getting bigger, you wanna move up from barangay to a bigger scale. But what happens when the business name I want is already registered, but the business is not existing anymore? Can I still use that business name? Registered but not existing anymore.
Okay po. So yung validity po ng business name na 5 years, hindi siya matitigil kung hihinto lang yung business natin. Matitigil lang siya if ika-cancel natin yung business name registration, or pag nag-expire siya on the 5th year tapos hindi natin siya ni-renew, automatically mawawala yung business name. So in this case po, kung pwede niya bang gamitin yung nakita niyang business name tapos hindi na nag-ooperate, if registered pa or valid pa siya within the 5 year, hindi nyo po siya magagamit kasi nakarehistro pa yon doon sa tao na nagrehistro ng ganong business name. So magagamit nyo lang po siya kapag chinek nyo sa system ng BNRS na hindi na siya makikita. Kapag sinearch nyo at hindi nag-appear yung ganong business name, then doon nyo po pwedeng i-register under your name.
Okay. So, I guess in its own way, it's for the protection, no? Para protektado talaga yung business mo, na in case na mag-pause yung business, pero baka naman babalik pa siya, you're protected within that 5-year period. And, I'm sure nakaka-frustrate din, no, na parang yung name na gusto mo, hindi pala available, pero hindi active yung business. Pero, comply pa rin tayo when it comes to the availability of the business name. Now, I have another question here for Miss Heidi. And it says here, hello, Miss Heidi. How about if we want to automate our payroll for our employees? What application can you recommend the most for automating payroll?
Yeah, okay. I'm happy to inform you po na we can assist you with that. Sa Glow Business, meron kaming tinatawag na Cloud Payroll. So, yung mga features po nito, it can automate the salary, payroll calculation, tapos meron na rin tong time and attendance reporting. And then may mga biometric integration na rin, and also the approval hierarchy. So, kung sino man po yung nagtanong, I hope na-scan nyo yung QR code para we can get your details and we can reach out to you para ma-discuss pa po namin further. But definitely, we can help you po with that.
And Miss Heidi, confirm ko lang, that can be for any size of business, right?
Yes. Meron po tayong for yung mga basic cloud startup na cloud payroll setup. Hindi naman kailangan na sobrang laki at kailangan parang thousands of employees agad. No, even for small size of business po, we can cater that kind of requirements.
Wonderful. That's really good to know. And as we have been saying, no, it really doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a company, as you say, of 1,000 employees or more. We can meet you where you're at, and there are solutions available to you kahit starting out pa lang kayo, no? So let's move on now to more questions that we have here. Give me a moment. Okay. Here for Faye, let's talk more about your journey now because I know you touched on this a little bit in your earlier question, but this one here says, what motivated you to take that leap toward becoming a registered business owner? Maybe we can go a little bit more into it aside from the accreditation with bigger companies.
Well, first of all, it came down really to three things. Those are my clients, my craft, and my calling. So when I started Fave Weddings and Events, I was just as passionate planner, juggling timelines, weddings, and even, just recently, no, yung dalawang typhoon na dumaan, may wedding kami noon. Yung dalawang araw na yon. And if you will really see my social medias, we survive, we will be posting more of it soon. So, pero habang nga tumatagal, mas dumadami ang couples na nagtitiwala sa akin with the biggest day of their lives. And that trust made me realize, if only digitalization, could pave way, if I could divide or multiply myself, baka meron ng ganong klaseng opportunity, I could really would sign up for it, So, yun nga. And then, I also, if clients are giving me 100%, shouldn't I give them 100% legitimate business in return? Gusto kong i-honor ang clients ko by giving them a business that's accountable, professional, and built for the long run. Gusto ko rin i-honor yung craft ko after countless sleepless nights and back-to-back events. I knew this wasn't just a hobby. Totoong negosyo na siya. And it deserves structure, protection, and room to grow. Registering with DTI and BAR gave Fave Weddings the identity and dignity it needed. So along the way, natutunan ko rin na the industry and even the online space can get a little noisy. So instead of letting outside opinions distract me, I choose to strengthen my legitimacy and let my work speak for itself. And lastly, gusto kong i-honor ang calling ko. I wanted to scale, to collaborate with venues and suppliers, join bigger organizations further than where I am a member currently right now. So, mag-issue ng receipts, gumamit ng digital platforms, and build a stronger team. Pero walang mangyayari dyan if you stay informal. So that's why, in the end, registering wasn't just informal. It was choosing to step into a bigger, future-ready version of myself as a founder and entrepreneur.
Goodness, Faye, really inspiring journey. And I'm sure despite all of that and everything that had to be done, all the transformation that had to be done, 100% worth it ang struggle, 100% worth it. Lahat ng pawis at iyak, I'm sure at times. I'm sure all of that when you sit down at the end of the day, it's a business that's yours. It's a business that you built and that you can be proud of, no? So we're almost out of time, everyone. Our fireside chat, the time always flies by because of all of the good ideas being shared, no? But let me ask one more sign-off question for the three of you. Sir Theo, we'll start with you, but the three of you, if you could answer this for us, please. And this is, what are your final words for small businesses who might still think that formalization is too complicated for them? This is a very understandable position to have, no? Sir Theo, maybe we could start with you. Some final words for people who might think this.
Okay. So for the business name registration po, as presented kanina, mas simple na yung ating pagre-rehistro. Available na po yung ating system online. So ang gagawin niyo na lang is to go to the website bnrs.dti.gov.ph and then register your name in just 3 easy steps. Provide information, pay the necessary fee, and download the certificate of business name registration. And then, registered ka na sa DTI. Next naman is, kailangan mo na magrehistro sa mayor's permit and then sa BIR. And then, additional lang po, huwag po tayong matakot maging legitimate. Mas matakot tayo kung mananatili tayong illegal kasi andito po yung risk sa pagiging illegal natin. So kung tayo ay legal, andyan po ang protection from the government. At the same time, yung consumer, andyan po yung at ease sa kanila na legitimate yung business na sa kanila nagpo-provide ng service or ng goods. Thank you po.
Thank you, Sir Theo. Oo nga naman, we should be more afraid of, continuing to operate informally versus having the protections and the partnership of being a legit business. And Faye, I'm sure you can relate. Same question. What are your final words for these small businesses who might still feel like it's too complicated for them?
Well, for me, siguro my advice is just simple. Don't wait for the perfect time. Take the first step kahit uncomfortable sa simula. Maraming business owners ang nagdadalawang isip because they fear paperwork, taxes, or making mistakes. Pero the truth is, legitimacy doesn't make your business harder. It makes it stronger. Once you register, you gain credibility, protection, access to bigger opportunities, and the confidence to say, this is a real business. And every day now, you delay is a missed opportunity. So that's why start before you feel ready. The fear is temporary, pero the benefits are long-term. Legitimacy is an investment in your growth, your clients, and your future. As I say, as always, the good moments make you proud, the bad moments make you stronger, and the worth it moments remind why you started.
Absolutely. Faye, thank you so much. And really, I think there is definitely a world of opportunities waiting for us once we become legitimate businesses. And it can be scary, of course, and intimidating, but absolutely, there are so many opportunities waiting for you just on the other side of becoming a legit business. Now, Ms. Heidi, I'm sure you agree with what our speakers have had to say. Same question for you as we get ready to say goodbye.
Okay, siguro for me na lang, don't be intimidated by this digital transformation, going professional, and technology. Isipin mo, hindi to gastos, hindi to complicated. It's an investment. As mentioned kanina, start small and ask for help. That's very important. Kung kailangan, maraming available na tutorials dyan, webinars like this, and even support teams na pwedeng mag-assist sa inyo. Ang importante lang, open ka to learn. Once kasi makita mo kung gaano kadali and ka-convenient, mapapaisip ka na lang, bakit ngayon ko lang ginawa to? So don't be afraid. Okay? Tama si Faye. Start now.
Let's not delay any further. Miss Heidi, thank you so much. And it's really good to know that, Globe Business is reaching out to these micro and small businesses to make sure that, everyone has an opportunity to bloom and to grow their business into something that's even more successful, not just legit, but also, thriving and reaching the world as we've been talking about these last few episodes. So thank you so much. And good, thank you to all three of you, and we'll see you next time. Maraming salamat everyone for sharing your insights. That wraps up our fireside chat. It is always such an insightful and practical discussion that we have here. So again, thank you to the three of you. Now, let's move things along, shall we? And of course, maraming salamat as well sa inyong lahat for your active participation and your thoughtful questions. We got some good questions there earlier, so we love that Q&A portion and getting to hear from you and what is important to you. We hope these conversations give you fresh ideas and the confidence to take the next steps in your own business journey. O diba? Ang dami nating learnings in the last couple of hours, especially during our Q&A. Now, as we said, time is really flying when we're learning so much and we're getting these great insights. Remember, ang Breakthrough Masterclass Small Biz Edition ay isang 6-part series. My goodness, nasa episode 5 na tayo, everyone, which means we are now on the second to the last episode. So make sure you join us next time. In the next few weeks, we will have our 6th and final episode. Season finale na natin, guys. So, dito tayo papatuloy ang pag-share ng mga practical tips para palaguin, i-adapt at i-future-proof ang mga business nyo. Mas marami pang insights, strategies, at tools ang ibabahagi namin para mas maging ready kayo sa mga next steps ng business journey nyo. Kaya don't miss it, mark your calendars, at samahan nyo kami. This has been Carla Barreto for Globe Business Breakthrough Masterclass Webinar Series. Small Biz Edition. Always such a pleasure to be here with you all. We'll see you in the next and final episode. Until then, keep believing in your business, keep nurturing your customers and employees, and keep on building that future that you dream of. Because every step you take is a step closer to your own breakthrough. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and we'll see you next time.